Florida has just become the first U.S. state to sue OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman, in a landmark lawsuit that could reshape the future of artificial intelligence regulation in America. The case centers on a question that lawmakers, parents, educators, and technology experts have been debating for years. Are AI chatbots becoming too powerful before enough safety measures are in place? According to Florida Attorney General James Uthmire, OpenAI knowingly released and aggressively marketed ChatGPT despite internal and external warnings about potential risks. The lawsuit alleges that the company prioritized rapid growth and market dominance over public safety, particularly when it comes to children and teenagers. The lawsuit, filed on June 1st, is an extensive 83-page complaint that accuses OpenAI of misleading users about the safety of ChatGPT, while failing to adequately warn the public about potential harms. Florida claims the chatbot has contributed to dangerous situations involving vulnerable users and minors. At the center of Florida's argument is the claim that AI systems like ChatGPT can influence behavior in ways that developers may not fully understand or control. State officials argue that children are particularly vulnerable because they may view chatbot responses as authoritative, trustworthy, or even emotionally supportive in situations where professional guidance would be more appropriate. The lawsuit alleges that OpenAI ignored repeated warnings from experts, both inside and outside the company. Florida claims that instead of slowing down deployment or strengthening safeguards, OpenAI continued expanding ChatGPT's reach to millions of users. State officials argue that this approach exposed children and vulnerable individuals to unnecessary risks. One of the most significant aspects of the lawsuit is its focus on minors. Florida alleges that ChatGPT was made widely accessible to young users, despite concerns about addiction, mental health impacts, and exposure to harmful information. The state claims that OpenAI failed to implement sufficient protections to prevent these risks from affecting children. Attorney General Uthmire has argued that OpenAI's actions amounted to deceptive business practices. According to the complaint, the company publicly promoted ChatGPT as a helpful and safe technology, while allegedly downplaying or concealing known dangers. Florida is seeking damages and other legal remedies designed to hold the company accountable for those alleged actions. The lawsuit also named Sam Altman personally, an unusual move that raises the stakes considerably. Florida argues that Altman played a direct role in decisions related to ChatGPT's development, marketing, and deployment. By targeting both the company and its CEO, the state is attempting to establish individual accountability alongside corporate responsibility. This legal action arrives at a time when artificial intelligence is experiencing explosive growth. Since ChatGPT launched, millions of people around the world have adopted AI tools for education, work, creativity, customer service, and everyday problem-solving. The technology has transformed industries and generated enormous investment across the tech sector. However, the rapid rise of AI has also sparked concerns about misinformation, privacy, bias, addiction, and safety. Critics argue that companies have moved too quickly to release powerful AI systems without fully understanding their societal impact. Supporters, meanwhile, argue that AI delivers enormous benefits and that responsible innovation should continue rather than be slowed by excessive regulation. Florida's lawsuit is significant because it represents the first state-led legal challenge against OpenAI. While the company has faced lawsuits before from private individuals and organizations, a state government entering the fight marks a new chapter in the broader debate over AI accountability. OpenAI has strongly emphasized its commitment to safety. The company says it has invested heavily in safeguards, moderation systems, age-related protections, and ongoing improvements designed to reduce harmful outputs. OpenAI has also stated that protecting users, especially younger users, remains a top priority. In public statements responding to the lawsuit, OpenAI expressed sympathy for families affected by tragic incidents mentioned in the complaint, while defending its efforts to build responsible AI systems. The company argues that it continuously updates its models to improve safety and reduce misuse. Legal experts say the outcome of this case could have consequences far beyond Florida. If the state succeeds, other states may pursue similar actions against AI developers. Regulators across the country are closely watching how courts handle questions involving AI-generated content, corporate responsibility, and user safety. The lawsuit also raises fundamental questions about how society should regulate emerging technologies. Should AI companies be held responsible when users misuse their products? How much protection should developers provide before releasing new systems? And what standards should exist for products used by millions of children and teenagers? These questions remain largely unanswered. For parents, educators, and policymakers, the case highlights growing concerns about how young people interact with AI. As chatbots become more advanced and conversational, experts continue debating what safeguards are necessary to ensure that children use these tools safely and responsibly. Meanwhile, the AI industry faces increasing pressure to demonstrate that innovation and safety can coexist. Companies developing advanced AI systems are being asked to prove that they can deliver groundbreaking technology without exposing users to unacceptable risks. Whether Florida ultimately wins or loses, this lawsuit is already being viewed as one of the most important legal battles in the history of artificial intelligence. It could establish new precedents for how AI companies operate, how governments regulate emerging technologies, and how society balances innovation with public safety. As the case moves through the courts, the world will be watching closely. The outcome may help determine not only the future of OpenAI and ChatGPT, but also the rules governing the next generation of artificial intelligence technologies. And that brings us to the big question. Should AI companies face stricter regulations before releasing powerful new tools? Or would heavier regulations slow down innovation that could benefit society? The answer may shape the future of technology for years to come.